Well, hi, students, and welcome to week 10. Yay! All right, so we're at week 10, which means we have, after this week, X number left because we have to get to 15. So 15 minus 10 is 5. Okay, so we're doing fine. Um, there's a lot going on this date in history. I missed one from last week, so I'm catching up this week. So on November 3rd, 1937, oops. I need to clean off my desk. 82 years ago, last Sunday, a couple of days ago, when we changed the clocks back. I hope everybody did and you're all caught up. So Howard Aiken, okay, I wish you were in my face-to-face class. Howard Aiken from Harvard University wrote a letter to J.W. Bryce from IBM, starting a discussion on automatic calculating machinery for use in computing physical problems. This would lead to the creation of the Harvard Mark I, 51 feet long, 8 feet high, weighing nearly 5 tons. With high-speed electromechanical units for multiplication and division, electromechanical tables of functions, 3 paper tape interpolar units, 72 accumulating storage registers, and 60 digital switch constant registers, all called into play by commands read from punch tape sequence control. The Harvard Mark I was the most powerful calculating machine of its day. This is the one I talked about. I think it was on the very first day when I talked about Grace Hopper. Grace Hopper is the one who wrote the programming for this. Grace Hopper found that bug. That bug is in the Smithsonian. This is the machine. Okay, this is the one. Okay. And so 51 feet long. I have no spatial recognition. I do not know 51 feet. So somebody tell me 51 feet, 8 feet high. I can pretty much get that. 5 tons. This is only a picture of part of it. Okay. That happened. Okay. So he wanted to start it. This is what started the Harvard Mark I. All right. So I'm excited. Okay. Okay, then 1952. I talk about this in my Facebook 67 years ago. Okay, so there was a UNIVAC. Okay, so there was an election in 1952. And so CBS News used UNIVAC to work with Walter Cronkite. You know how they do the all night long electoral stuff, okay? And so it was between Dwight Eisenhower and Adlai Stevenson. So the computer, UNIVAC, did the prediction very early on, but CBS would not say that it predicted, even made a prediction, because they didn't want to influence voters, but they also didn't give any credibility to the computer. And so Walter Cronkite is sitting there kind of, snickering in the background, I guess. And so the computer's analysis of early returns showed an easy win for Eisenhower, but newscasters Cronkite and Charles Collinwood, that's this guy here, were wary of the machine's accuracy as opinion polls were predicting the landslide victory for Stevenson. They postponed announcing the UNIVAC prediction until it became clear that Eisenhower would indeed win. So, oh my gosh, that was 67 years ago. Holy cow. So yeah, they didn't put a whole lot into that. Into the credibility, but also I can understand them not wanting to influence voters. Okay, in only 2006, the internet had 100 million sites. In 1980, Microsoft signed a contract with IBM to create an operating system. Microsoft, look at this. These are floppy disks. Microsoft signed a contract with IBM in 1980 to create an operating system for the new IBM PC. The PC ignited the personal computer market, making home computers popular among more than just hobbyists. Microsoft co-founders Bill Gates and Paul Allen developed Microsoft Disk Operating System, commonly known as DOS, 39 years ago, using existing software from a Seattle company as a foundation. Wow. Okay, what else went on? What else? Tell me more. The JOS operating system began. How far do we have to go here? Till the 10th. Kilby was born. Firefox came in 2004. And I'll stop right here. Microsoft in 1983, 36 years ago, introduced Windows. So in your parents' lifetime. Okay? All right, so a lot goes on here. All right, we are going to move on. We are going to do Excel Chapter 2. So I hope you liked Excel Chapter 1. I hope you found that it was really not scary and that it's okay. These are the videos that you need. Why don't I just make this so you can see it? Okay, so here's where we need that average, min, max. You're going to use charts. Yay. And some alignment. I showed that to you last week. I went over a lot of this in last week's video where you use the things in the ribbon. Fit it to one page. These are the videos that we're going to help you get through this. Make sure you watch them. Here's the video lecture. Attendance. Make sure you post to attendance. Tell me one thing you learned and or whether you prefer daylight saving or standard time. That's kind of a holdover from last time because I had already done last week's and I was like, I should have just cut it off with Halloween, but no, I had to include it. So tell me something. All right, videos. I can't tell you that there's anything in here that the videos don't tell you better than I can because they will show you, oh, absolute value. I should show you that. All right. This will be on the test. I can tell you that. Let me open Excel. All right. So let's say you have a number right here. So I'm going to say 783. I'm going to say just a bunch of numbers. Okay. So let's say these are amounts of money, okay? And we want to multiply them. So let's say these were, oh, you know what? I should do this differently. I should do this the way I do my face-to-face class. Why don't I just be smart? Okay, because I'm not. All right, I'm going to take these out. All right, so I'm a cashier at a store like Walmart, okay? And one of you comes up to my cash register, all right? And you buy non-food items at exactly $100. All right, so now I can't do math in my head. So I'm going to say over here that our tax rate is 7%, right? Because I can do that easier. So this is the sale. This is the tax. And this is the total amount I'm going to collect, right? Okay. So in order to calculate the tax, I have to take this number times this number. Now, in my head, in my face-to-face class, I can do this. All right. But for calculation purposes, right, I have to put the amount of tax that I collect so that I know how much to send to the governor. Okay. So I have to do so I want to take E4 and I want to multiply it by A12, right? So far, so good. All right. And yes, that's right. 100 times 7% is 7. Now, if I take this and drag it down, why is that wrong? What does it say here? Because here I put my formula in. I need to multiply whatever number is non-taxable sales, right, times this number. But when I drag this, so here it's correct. E4 times A12, because that's where my sales tax is. But when I use the fill handle and drag this down, it moves this to A13 and this one to A14. So those aren't correct. So whenever you're doing something like this, you have to use what's called absolute value, which means that no matter what you drag, you're going to use A12. So in order to do that, I'm going to come up here to my formula, and I am going to put a $sign on either side of the A. Right? The number stays 7. It's still multiplying E4 by A12. However, now, when I use the fill handle and drag this down, ta-da! 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 3 is 21. I get that, and then you can set your formula that way. So whenever you have to use something that stays the same, this is the number that is absolute every time it stays the same. You have to change your formula in the first one to put $signs on either side. Okay, the rest of the information that you need is all in these videos. You have this lecture, this video, attendance chart. I hope that you are really embracing Excel and not apprehensive about it. And I hope that you're getting to enjoy it. There are other ways to use Excel, like sign-in sheets and things like that. I could show you those some other time. All right. Have a fabulous week, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.